Well, this next one's about a dream so big, it's all you could think about, all you want to do.
Well, for one Springdale native, that dream was to run at a D1 school. But in a short moment, the teenager discovered that his dreams may never become a reality.
It was like the day of the race. I was kind of warming up, and while we were eating breakfast, I had like a kind of like a pinch. It felt like in like my lung or like my heart, and I didn't really think anything of it until I started running.
Dawson Welch started running in elementary school.
Like, he just wants to run.
Which is what he has always done, until that pinch felt on race day turned into a visit to the doctor with his mom.
It was on the ride home, she called us and we were almost home, and she said, "You need to turn around and go straight to the emergency room. His lung has collapsed and we need to get it fixed."
Andrea Yarborough rushed her son to the closest hospital.
It was not pretty and it wasn't fun, I'd say.
And just when the two thought that they were in the clear, not even 24 hours later,
I started feeling it again, and I wanted to tell my mom, like, can we just go to the hospital just to be safe? I was like, can we please go to like children's as well too?
which is where Dawson found out that his lung had collapsed again. But this time, they found out why.
I had a growth on my, extra growth on my rib that was cutting into my lung.
So he needed to undergo one more surgery, giving mom flashbacks to many days spent at Arkansas Children's.
So our journey started back in 2009 when my youngest son Grady had his first seizure.
It was from there that Arkansas Children's quickly became the family's second home.
We spent days, weeks, months down at the hospital. We spent time on every floor.
With Andrea's youngest son Grady becoming what they called an ACH baby.
He had what was called lissencephaly, which means smooth brain. And because of that, he had seizures every day, he had breathing issues, he had developmental delays.
Giving Dawson a different perspective while recovering from his lung collapse.
He was able to go through all these surgeries and all this stuff, and he was still fighting, and fighting for longer than doctors thought he should have. And so I was like, you know, considering what he did, like what I'm doing is nothing. So it's like, I can push myself more.
There were multiple times that he questioned hitting the track.
You know, be able to, I guess, run the same again, just because this affected a lot with breathing.
But he kept going.
Some people have had it worse, and I had seen that firsthand, and so I didn't ever want to bring up any excuses.
And it's because of his determination and brother's inspiration, he can now say he has achieved his goal.
But there's still one last thing you have to do, athletes. Take out those pens and let's sign those letters.
Against all odds, Dawson made his dream a reality. He'll be running cross country for the Tennessee Volunteers this fall.
And it just goes back to not giving up on yourself and just trying to not sometimes looking at the big pictures too much. So sometimes we just take it down and say, you got this, and think about what you've been through and what you've gone. And we always say that because we're like, you've gone through a lot more than what most people ever go through. So remember that you can do this if you just keep knowing you've been through these hard times.